Morning, you guys. 8:30 Monday morning. Today I'm going to show you something pretty cool with a Western Diamondback. Bite in a rat that died in 1 second, and the blood that was left over from it. Crotalus atrox is wicked as far as hemostasis goes, blood chemistry. I love hemostasis and thrombosis. So I'm going to show you what it looks like and briefly talk about what happened. Western Diamondback has different fractions that cause different things. As far as fibrinogen degrading proteins, as far as thrombin-like enzymes, pro-coagulant fractions. One of the really wicked things it has is what's called hemorrhagens. There's 7 of them from A to G. And they're very, very, very wicked. That's what makes them very dangerous. And I'm going to show you what happened after the rat died. This is in 3 minutes after the bite, and what you're looking at are those fractions. Certain fractions that cause blood to not clot, fibrinogen and eat to depart, and the blood can't clot, as well as hemorrhagens and many other things in the venom. There's over 60 plus fractions in that venom, and that's what that looks like after 3 minutes after a rat bite. And that's the snake there. And the really cool thing is, well, one more thing. I'm also working on a cool protein enzyme / peptide tree on hemostasis and blood clotting fractions and hemorrhagens and how that all works, and the clotting cascade, which is actually very interesting. Which comes down to technically prothrombin to make thrombin, which makes fibrinogen into fibrin, which makes the blood clot. And that's how that works in a nutshell, briefly. Much more complicated than that, with the whole clotting cascade, complement factors, everything else. But it's kind of neat actually to see that, versus a book on how it actually sounds. So I wanted to show you that, and what I'm working on. It's been like a 5-year project on this hemostasis thrombosis thing I've been doing. Partially my fault. I get into it and quit, start it, and quit a little bit and start it, and forget a bunch of stuff. So I'm still trying to learn it as best I can. And one more thing, the really cool thing is, next week I'm going to milk that snake and shoot up some pure venom in my wrist. And show you what happens to somebody that's immune versus that rat that was not immune. It's an amazing thing to see. With that snake, Western Diamondback is horribly brutal. And I was actually peer-reviewed by Dr. Finlay Russell, saying it was going to be pretty tough to beat Western Diamondback because he failed after 3 attempts back in the 60s. An individual that they tried to immunize with, and I'm pretty proud to beat that after 3 years of working with him. So we'll get back to that in 2 or 3 weeks. I need to heal up a little bit from some injections. Got some other paperwork I need to do here, and we will go from there for now. And that will do it. I think I covered everything I wanted to get to. And like I said, if I made any mistakes with what I just talked about, I have very little notes. I prep a little bit, but most of the time I prefer to talk off the cuff. And like I said, if I make mistakes, I make mistakes. So we will go from there. Next, we're actually going to get into some peer review by some really cool scientists and doctors, a couple of Nobel winners. The inventor of the DNA vaccine, Dr. Johnson, and one of the inventors of the IgE antibody, Dr. Johansson. which I'm really proud of. It really kind of solidifies what I'm doing for Sudan to bring that power there. I'm just the middleman, no education. So that's that. We'll get into that later. It's going to be a long time before we go through all that. So it's been a lot of years of collecting this stuff. And we will go from there. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.